Hello everyone, welcome back to Fraudonthetele. In today's video, we'll be breaking down episode 9 of the Legend of Vox Machina, The Tide of Bone. This video will obviously contain spoilers for the Legend of Vox Machina and Campaign 1. As always, if you enjoyed the video or learned something new, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Check out some of our other Legend of Vox Machina content. Let's get into it. Episode 9 begins with a flashback of Silas and Delilah Briarwood and their awesome backstory. Silas and Delilah were both once normal humans who lived a life of wealth and luxury. One day Silas fell ill and no doctor or medicine seemed to be able to save him. Delilah refuses to let her husband die. She rises from his bed, a ghostly voice speaking to her. She takes off running through the woods, driven by the whispers, until she comes to some kind of an old workshop or temple. Delilah rummages through the books until she is drawn to a large book with a glowing purple skull on the cover. Using this book, Delilah casts an incantation, cutting her arm and spilling her blood into the pan. This spell is the rites of vampirism. A skull-like face descends from the ceiling overlooking Silas, its eyes glowing purple. As it does, Silas's body heals itself from the sickness, and his eyes snap open briefly. They are bottomless black pits with purple dots. Silas has fully transformed into a vampire, while Delilah has made a pact with one certain entity. In the campaign, Silas actually dies. I can't tell if he's dead here or not, but he actually dies in the campaign, which is kind of cool. In the campaign, Delilah was an accomplished wizard who worked with the Sorceress Academy, and later at one point would rise to as high as Archmage of Antiquity. Her, being a powerful wielder of magic, made Silas's resurrection as a vampire possible, but not without the insight of Vecna, the Whispered One. Vecna is the god of necromancy and secrets. Once a mere human, Vecna used his powers of necromancy to turn himself into an archlet, eventually gaining enough followers he would achieve godhood. It was Vecna's intervention and gift of necromantic knowledge to Delilah that saved her husband. The symbol Delilah carves in her arm largely resembles Vecna's eye, as we see it here in the book. Flashback over to Vox Machina, the group has just finished rescuing Cassandra from Andrew's mansion after Percy blew the man to bits. Delilah has summoned a massive horde of undead, which bear down on our heroes. It's interesting to note the title of this episode is The Tide of Bone, obviously representing the skeletons here. Fun fact, this was actually the name of the episode in the campaign in which these events are taken from. They push their way through the never-ending horde, cutting them down as they go. They manage to make it into a safe house, which, little Easter egg, is a reference to the tavern from Sam's one-shot. Remember to go check out our Easter egg video, guys. The group is given a short moment of respite, but not long until the horde of undead break inside. One manages to bite Scanlan's arm, taking a chunk out of it. As the house is filling with undead, the party manages to escape up a ladder to the roof, but rip this guy. The group makes their way to the city until they encounter one of the undead giants. Percy whips out bad news, one-shotting the giant. This is a cool little reference to a scene in the campaign where Percy goes full demon mode, almost killing one of these big boys in a single turn. Unfortunately though, bad news breaks in the process. Scanlan's arm is decaying rapidly, and the Duke arrives with his army of undead, and a battle ensues. Archie tries to convince Percy to rally the men, as he is the true heir of Whitestone. They will listen to him. Percy struggles accepting this responsibility, having never been born to lead. Scanlan and the Duke face off. The Duke, having learned from their previous encounters, has Scanlan in a sticky situation. It looks like the Duke is about to strike Scanlan down. Archie steps in, blocking the strike. The two clash, but Archie is not so lucky, as the Duke's strike completely eviscerates him, cutting him in half at the waist. The undead surge onward as Vox Machina definitely fights them. Keyleth summons a storm of ice, freezing a large chunk of the city streets, destroying the undead in the process. The party fall back to the Sun Tree, the remaining Resistance members meeting with them. Percy, realizing he is the only one who can rally his people, accepts his role as the leader of Whitestone, and he gives a quite rallying and motivating speech. Good thing he did, as the undead horde once again descends on them. Scanlan's arm is decaying and almost useless. Vax, thinking this might be his last moment, tells Keyleth he loves her. A fun moment that happened in the campaign. It's funny because this moment actually took place after the fight with Anders in the campaign, because Vax almost dies, so in that moment he feels like he needs to tell Keyleth his feelings for her. As it seems the party are finally going to be overwhelmed, a blinding cap of light descends from the sky, ripping the undead giant in two. It's Pike, who through the power of her goddess is able to manifest herself here in Whitestone, destroying much of the undead in the process. Ashley Johnson, the actress that plays Pike, was unable to play in a lot of these games in the Briarwood arc in the campaign. She was off filming a television show in New York and couldn't make it. So throughout much of the Briarwood arc in the campaign, Pike is not even there. More undead appear. Pike summons her holy mace. Finally, we get to see her use this mace of disruption. She eats it, and with the power of the holy life, it burns through the scores of the undead. Percy shoots the Duke in the leg, crippling him, revenge for Archie. He decides to spare the Duke, as his name is not on his list, but lets the people of Whitestone decide his fate. Fun fact, in the campaign, the Duke actually lives, turning his life around, and makes a reappearance and a slight cameo later on. Pike gives the power of Holy Light to the people of Whitestone, enchanting their weapon. This is most likely to spell Holy Weapon in D&D, I believe. Once all the undead are dealt with, the group enter the keep from a set of underground tunnels that Percy and Cassandra used as kids. These tunnels lead into the dungeon below Whitestone. Within one of the cells, Ripley resides. The episode ends as Percy holds his gun to her head, seemingly about to blow her brains out. For a full breakdown of this Percy, oh my god, it's Ripley scene, check out our Legend vs. the Campaign series, where I break down the scene and compare some of my favorite scenes in general from the show to the campaign. As always, guys, thank you for watching my video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help the channel. More Legend of Vox Machina content on the way. Click on some of our other Legend of Vox Machina content on the screen right now, and I'll see you in the next one. As always, guys, peace, love, adieu.